Thank you, Dave. Now I want to introduce the man that makes the lineups. In '06, he led this team to the World Series, and I have a good feeling about what's going to happen this year, too. We get to deal with him on a regular basis, and it's always a great pleasure to introduce the skipper himself, Jim Leyland.
Thank you very much. There's going to be a hell of a party in my office tonight. If any of you guys want to come, any ladies want to come, you're more than welcome. 11:59, it'll be sent off to my Marlboros, and like I said, we're going to have one hell of a party. If by chance tomorrow you are driving down Woodward Avenue, and you see an old man on a bench, park bench with a newspaper and a smag going, that will be me. Do not throw water on me, please. Thanks very much for coming today. To Johnny and Magdo, congratulations. Thank you very much to all the players for cooperating today and being here in support of this great luncheon, and some of our great fans that have been so wonderful to us, certainly throughout Tiger baseball. Not only the 5 years that I've been there, but well beyond that, obviously. I'll say it one more time, I've said it several times, I think Detroit and St. Louis are probably the two best baseball towns in the country, pure baseball towns. We are, as Dave said, I don't really have to talk too much about the club. I know they're going to be introducing the guys here shortly. I'll just touch on it briefly. I agree with Dave. I really like the combination of veteran players with some pretty outstanding statistics and credibility behind their names, and I really like breaking in the young players. The other day, there's been 2 or 3 times this season that is very rare. We've had a lineup, we've written out a lineup with 4 rookies in a lineup at one time. And normally, you'll find out over the years that the transition for a rookie breaking in, is normally dictated by the veteran players. And we're so blessed, I know he hasn't been around that long, but a great player like Cabrera and the Gerald Lairds and the Adam Everett's, the veteran players that have done something in their career and been good players, and Brandon Inge and all. The transition period is really smoother because if your veteran players do well, then it makes it much easier for your young players to break in. If the club is struggling and the veteran players are struggling, then obviously there's too much focus on the young guys breaking in, and it's really not fair to them. So that's normally the key. We're very blessed. I think we're a very talented team. We're not a great team yet. I think we have a chance to be a champion. That will be decided by the guys in this room. I really sincerely believe that. There's a lot of parity, particularly in the Central Division. They're very good. We just beat a team 2 out of 3 that is a very good team. And we know the Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Indians, Kansas City much improved. And like a lot of other teams, pitching will probably dictate how it turns out. But once again, thank you so much for having us here today. It's an honor to be your manager. It's an honor to manage the players that I'm managing. I have a great coaching staff that will now visit my office starting tomorrow, much more than they have over the last 5 years. They will be coming in a little more often, I assume. There was one little conflict I couldn't, when I saw all this about passing the smoking thing. It's America, and it's great, and I'm all for it. It's kind of mind-boggling to me. I read where there was a smoking ban and you couldn't smoke anymore, and on the next page, and I'm not kidding, I was reading an article where some lawmakers are considering making marijuana legal. Thanks a lot.
It's now time for some questions for both Jim and Dave. And Jim, why don't we start with you? And I think this can be a favorite topic for you or not, but you do talk a lot about it, and it does get asked a lot, and that is how important is chemistry to a team and its success?
Right now we got good chemistry. We had great chemistry over the weekend. We won 2 out of 3. Chemistry is dictated normally by wins and losses. It's just the way it is. It's actually a subject you take in school. I'm not really big on chemistry. I don't really care anything about chemistry. I don't care if we like each other, love each other, or hate each other. What I care about is when we go between the lines, we all pull together to play the game right and to beat the opponent. That's what I care about. Now, is it nicer if everybody gets along and you have a front? Yes, it is. Don't get me wrong. It is very nice. But it's not necessarily essential to a winning team. So the writers like to talk about it. People like to talk about it. I think it's overrated. And like I said, if we win, we will have great chemistry. If we don't, we will have no chemistry.
Jim, why don't you stay up? You talked about incorporating young players into the lineup. Can you just talk about, you were talking the other day in Texas about how it energizes you and your coaching staff to have so many young players and working them in, but can you also talk about that balancing act of putting them in the lineup, when to pull them in, when to put them out, and how they progress over the course of the season?
I think the key is to, to throw them to the wolves a little bit and back off a little bit. Put them back out there, back off a little bit. You also just have to use a little common sense. If you see that they're getting beat up and they're struggling, you get them out of there, you give them a blow, but then you throw them back in the fight. I mean, this is a big league. You want to be up here, you got to play, you got to perform. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I think you use common sense. But like I said, the veterans, we're so blessed, like the Maglios and the Damons and guys like that, that they can help these guys along. They've been through the wars. They really help the manager and the coaching staff. For me and my coaching staff, it has been energizing because we're teaching more. A lot of times when you have a veteran team, you put them out there and you really don't have to do a lot of teaching. Now we're teaching a lot more, and it does kind of energize you a little bit, so I'm enjoying it. And if they do it, I'll enjoy it a lot more. But I think it's good for all of us. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think our players have really been good about understanding that we're breaking in some of these young players, and they've handled it very well. And I think it's really a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the fans because you don't want to break anybody's heart. But truthfully, folks, the days of somebody playing for a team for 20 years are over. Just because of the system. You can be upset about it, you can be mad about it, but that's not going to happen anymore. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm happy with what we got, and I'm excited about it.
One more for you, Jim, before you sit down. This is from the audience, what do players, coaches, managers do during rain delays?
No, normally the players play cards. We have some rules. Once we get there, once we start BP, no cards. Once we get to the clubhouse and get out on the field. But during the rain delay, the players are allowed, obviously, to play cards. So some guys play cards, some guys just hang out. Normally, the coaches and myself are in my office, and we're watching another game. You have the MLB, we get all the games like a lot of you, hopefully you people do, hopefully you bought the package. And so we can watch just about any game going on. And it's nice because, you might be able to even watch the next opponent coming in, the team you're going to play next or something. So normally that's what the staff does. And some players, listen to music, some guys play cards. That's pretty much it. There's not really much going on. So that's normally what we do. Am I done? You're done.